What's good, y'all? You dub back here again in 2020. Let's get it. You know, one thing I've learned in this life, the older I've gotten, is that for many people, perception becomes reality. Perception is not reality. People say, oh, my opinion. Listen, bro, yeah, if you know how I get down, y'all know one of my main mottos. You hear it often on this channel is logic, reason, facts, and evidence. Fact has become funny with certain online homies and whatnot. But it's the reality of the situation. Logic, reason, facts, and evidence. The reason why that's so important, no pun intended, is anyone can say anything, right? Any casual person can say anything. That doesn't make that person right. That doesn't make that person knowledgeable. That doesn't make that person's viewpoint valid. Okay. That person could be using a tainted lens. That person could be using messed up data for evidence, right? That person could be spewing shit out of his or her ass, right? We know this to be true. Now, what does that have to relate to this video? You see the title. The jab, the ultimate tool. In some ways, it's the ultimate weapon. In some ways, it's the ultimate defense. You'd be like, wonder, what the hell are you talking about? Now, if you know me personally, or if you know my discussions, you know the things I do. I talk in the unorthodox, and a lot of subs that watch my videos like that. I heard some different folks talk about how much they love boxing. I do as well. Excuse me for a second. Here's the interesting thing. There's a lot that's been said about the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder. He needs to jab more. Actually, he jabs a hell of a lot, and that's one of his main punches. You know, people praise Tyson Fury, but he doesn't always jab. You know, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, many I could get into. Not everybody jabs. Big George Foreman learned to utilize his jab even more effectively as he got older, right? Interesting. Series Hajime no Ippo. It took the classic axiom. Whoever controls the left controls the world. Now, obviously, that's talking out of an orthodox stance. If you're a southpaw, it is the right hand. But I would argue that the jab for the southpaw isn't as effective as it is for the orthodox fighter. As someone who can switch, who's got just as much power in his left as in his right, and who's nearly as fast in southpaw as I am in orthodox, this is very true. Um, the left presents a whole slew of angles and manipulation that the right simply doesn't do. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about versus an orthodox or versus a southpaw fighter. But regardless, the jab. Here's the thing. Most people don't realize that the jab is in practically every single more unarmed. I have to put that out there. Of course, armed martial arts, you're talking about firearms, you're talking, guns, you're talking about blades, swords, knife play, um, bow, bow jutsu, and etc. The list goes on and on. Obviously, those are different canes. But when it comes to unarmed combat, pretty much the universal tool is the jab. You say, well, what about grappling? What about wrestling? Almost every single martial art utilizes the jab. If you understand what the jab is, we won't break that thing down on the back end, on the whole philosophy of the jab and whatnot. But what is a jab? All kinds jab. Some of it, jabs can come from different angles, right? It's different from a straight, it's different from a cross. A straight punch, straight right, straight left, right? A cross, whether it be a counter or just a cross shot. A hook, an uppercut, right? Overhand right. Haymaker, the jab. Every martial art has the jab. And yes, I'm taking more of a boxing. Muay Thai, jab. Sambo, capoeira, jab. Karate, jab. Jeet Kune Do definitely has a jab. Um, Judo has a jab. Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit of a jab. Aikido, yeah, it has a jab too. Show me a martial art that doesn't have a jab. It's going to be very hard to press to find one. Why? Here's the thing about the jab. A jab can be used as a spear. Strong jab, power. Boom, power. Conor McGregor, for example, uses a jab as a spear. He does not use it. Big George Foreman used the jab as a spear to destroy. Everybody fears Conor McGregor's left hand, right? It's his jab that's the problem. It's the jab. Conor McGregor's jab is the problem. Big George Foreman, heavy-handed ass. Lennox Lewis, heavy-handed. Another one, a club. Iron Mike Tyson's jab was a damn club. Smoking Joe Frazier's jab was a damn club. Okay? Just a lot of bigger bare knucklers. Their jabs are to club you to death. You thinking, oh, jab? Oh no, that junk coming harsh. And you fearing more of the jab than you do that right hand. And then that right hand hook comes out of nowhere and cleans your clock. Iron Mike Tyson said, and this is very true, if you've ever been a runner in football, or if you've ever been in basketball or any, you just working, right? You working in manual labor. What's the worst punch? It's the punch you don't see. Now, an entire video can be done on that. But it's so very true. So very true. Okay? The thing about it is, I mentioned the spear. Okay? Just the penetrating force, the devastator, crushing blows. Like a damn cinder block or a wrecking ball, right? A concussive blow, a crusher, a mallet, right? Then there's a stinging shot. There's like pistol fire, revolver fire, right? We're just like pew 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 shot, stinging. Those are stinging blows. There's needleistic blows. Okay, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You get enough of those. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard. You get enough of them stings, you gonna be feeling that, and you gonna drop, or you gonna be wanting to drop. Da da da. Then there's moves that are like the flicker jab. Like I talk about, machine guns or revolvers, pistols, flicker jab. Tommy the Hitman Hearns. It's flicker, flicker, flicker. If you all know examples of each of these is kind of actually interesting because the Naniwa Tiger, Sendo Takeshi, and Hajime no Ippo has more crushing blows, right? The spear is more Takamura, okay? When it comes to the jab, and the crushing is kind of Ippo as well. When it comes to the more of the piston, Larry Holmes was another piston user, right? Even though he didn't have the flicker jab, it was boom, 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 just putting it out there, right? Joe Louis, another one that had a piston for a jab, right? You look at good old, what's my man's name? Mashiba Rio, okay? And Hajime no Ippo with his flicker. You look at for the stinger, you have Miyata, you have Itagaki that have kind of stinging jabs. Kimura, his is more of a diluted, but his is in that ballpark as well. Or actually, no, his is more of just a regular jab. Then, those are just offensive. Other defensive techniques. A jab is also a shield. You're like, but let me tell you, a jab is as much offensive. I'm one who believes in the greatest defense is a great offense. And a great offense is the greatest defense. The best defense is a great offense, and the best offense is a great defense. Although you have to execute it properly for the defensive side, but definitely the greatest defense is a great offense. Think about sports, football. If you put up 60 points, bro, it makes the game a hell of a lot easier. In basketball, if you run up the score 150 points, very seldom are you going to lose that game. All you have to do is make some stops, right? Baseball, if you hit 13, 20 runs, then that's light work for the rest of the game, right? In boxing, if you can just keep somebody at a distance with that jab, Vladimir Klitschko used to do this all the time, right? Anthony Joshua, to a degree, did it like this. He kept Andy Ruiz Jr. Honest, right? In their second fight, okay? Another way is a rangefinder. Big George Foreman uses this a lot. Deontay Wilder uses this. Tyson Fury uses this. It's a rangefinder. A lot of the greatest jabbers, Muhammad Ali, different ones use it at time as well. But not only can it be a rangefinder, a lot of times it can be utilized to trap dudes. It can be utilized also as a feint. Deontay Wilder. You can use it as a disguise. Guys will literally see that. You can barely see me, right? Barely see. Then bam! Can't even see it, can you? Bam! That's what Deontay Wilder does. That's what a lot of great power punchers do. The art of misdirection. You see this all the time in Epo, right? The art of misdirection. Keep that jab in front of you. Keep that jab. Conor McGregor does this. Right? Keep that jab in front. Keep it in front. Keep it in front. Keep it in front. And then bam! Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. did it a lot. You see a lot of guys holding out. Even though it's not a direct jab, it's the purpose of the jab. So the jab, and you can go more and more, but these are the usual tool how people utilize the jab. So it's a multi-diverse. That's why any style can utilize a jab. That's why you can have it both in grappling as well as in striking. Any form can use the jab. It can be used like a rapier, as in fencing. You can utilize that. That's how Jeet Kune Do uses it. It says your power hand first, so that you're closest to me. Bam. See, easy and better reach. See what I'm saying? The philosophy of the jab depends on your fighting style. And Coach Kamigawa kind of broke that down in Ipo because he was watching Miyata and he broke it down all the ways that the jab can be utilized, right? Because Ipo was not understanding that. And he's like, oh, I should just jab more. He said it can be used in many ways. That's what it means. It is a tool of tools. It can be used as a blade. It can be used as a spear. It can be used as a gun. It can be used, however you name it, as a shield. And so when people talk about, oh, this person needs to jab more, these people, listen, a lot of people talk casually. They hear some good advice, but don't understand what it means. Some folks just throw out these weak ass jabs. You ever been in a gym or you ever be in a dojo, right? And you just watch a dude, especially if it's usually a young dude or a dude who's sloppy, a dude who hasn't been practicing his craft, his art in a while. So he'll throw out this old slop, right? Just hit the bags. Like, bro, put some power into that thing. Snap that rig. Boom. Hit something. Even if I'm not putting much power when I do this. But let me tell you, you're going to feel it. The bag of it all pop. You'll see something move. If you hit somebody with a little bit of force, it'll check somebody. If you're dealing with a drunk and you have to let them hands go, just this. A lot of times when it comes to situations, I don't even make contact with people. I mean, there was this one time a situation out of the park. A dude was trying me. He was jaw jacking. I didn't want to. My beef was with some other dudes, but I didn't want to deal with this. So this dude was talking. All I did, squared up, did 2 quick jabs. Boom, boom. Did not intentionally hit him. He didn't react. And I started literally laughing in his face. I'm like, dude, you can't throw it. And other people saw that. Hey, bro, you can't throw hands. You cannot fight. I don't want to mess because I'm going to mess you up. Could not respond. And that's the thing, man. Eyes can't, hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. But also, when your eyes can't see the hands coming, it's over, fam. Some of the greatest people use the jab. And I've said this. If all I have to do all night long is to jab you to death, people can find that as boring, but listen. If you're talking about, like, for example, the art of boxing is to hit and not be hit. All night. All night. All night. All night. To the body. To the head. To the head. To the body. If I just get able to do that all night, now I can be tired, but if I'm able to do that all night and I've literally trained my body to do that, that is massively effective. Don't open yourself up. You see this? All this area. A lot of martial arts teach you to turn to the side. But if you're doing this all night, lot less body, right? And then if they get duped to sleep, then you hit them with that. Or then you come in and hit them with that. Then you hit them with the body blows. You set everything up off the jab. Now, you could argue what'll happen when the folks know it's coming. Use that to your advantage. Use that to your advantage. All right. What'll happen if they know it's coming? Don't leave it out there. Or do this. You see that? Little hesitation in the fake, in the shoulder, or hesitation. Hesitate, boom, take them with the hook. Boom, bob and weave. Get them to react. See what they're going to do. It's like a jab step in basketball, right? See what your opponent going to do. It's mind games. Okay. Now, what'll happen if you're in guard or you have to guard? What'll happen? You say, "Well, my jab can't be effective." Really? Okay. Then make your jab your dominant weapon. It's like, what? If out of this and you're guarding, what do? Change it up. Change it up. Right? Out of this. Change it up. If it's striking, use the kicks, whatever, right? Once that person don't want to be inside on you, right? Or that person gets tired, now what do? Some space in between you. Bam, bam! Bam, bam! 1-2s. See how I can be effective? Don't just think, oh, I have to throw my jab. No, it should be second nature. Ultra instinct mentality. The art of nothingness. Okay? The jab is usually going to be the closest thing to a person. That's why it's so effective. It's not supposed to be a power blow. It's not supposed to. You can say, well, why is that effective? Many people have been dropped by a jab. If you have the natural power, then it can affect. Because some people are heavy handed. Then I know Ipo also talked about type of knuckles. So that also kind of can tell you if you have more of a flat knuckle, then you have more of a crushing blow. If you have more of a pointed knuckle, then understand how that's going to hit so that you don't break your knuckles or anything, right? Now let's talk about some of the philosophies behind the jab, all right? Some people find the jab as the ultimate weapon. We know the names. Muhammad Ali, Tommy, even though Tommy the Hitman Hearn was looking to take people out, you can put him in a camp. You can put pretty much any outboxer, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. And you can say, but yes, they could fight inside. Uh, Joe, the Brown Bomber, Joe Lewis. They could infight. They could counterpunch. A lot of them could slug and brawl it out, right? But the ultimate weapon, because if you look at any of their fights, when they were most effective, that jab was put in that work. And they may have finished it off with the right hand, with a hook, with an uppercut, but they were using it as a weapon of mass destruction. Some of them more voluminous, but some of them were literally taking, bits of the armor out with that jab all night long, right? For some people, Khabib Nurmagomedov, okay, it's a lot of grapplers. You looked at Rowdy Ronda Rousey. It's more of a misdirection. Okay, could they land? Sure, but what it was it wanted them to set up for the grappling game and whatever facet that they have. Then you have people like Amanda Nunes. Okay, uh, I would put Deontay Wilder more in the on the um, part with Khabib and Rousey, for example. You look at Amanda Nunes, you look at Iron Mike Tyson, Rocky Marciano. You could probably throw in Jack Dempsey, Jake LaMotta up in that piece to throw back some old timers. But they were using it more as a destroyer. You could say, well, what's the difference between a weapon and a destroyer? I can have a 9 millimeter and I can have a rocket or a missile. If you don't know the difference between those, now I don't know what to tell you. A sledgehammer versus a chisel. What's the difference? Okay. Um, then you have people, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, who, I would throw in Vladimir Klitschko, who utilized it as the setup for everything. It was the base. It was the basis of which they were to operate. And so, whatever your philosophy, understand how do you build? Okay, so how You can ask me, well, wonder, out of all of this, you don't show the different tools, the different mindsets and philosophies that go into it in the different ways. How do you set it up to be effective for you, for me? Well, there's a few factors. There are 5 different factors. As usual, everything's multi-layered. There are levels to this shit, right? 1, what is your fighting style? How are you trying to fight? If I'm looking to grapple, I'm not trying to be Muhammad Ali. Does that make sense? If I'm looking to infight, I'm not out here trying to be Joe Louis. Okay? I'm going to look maybe how Hands of Stone Roberto Duran did it. See what I'm saying? Understand your fighting style. You can say, well, I can't use jab. You can always use the jab. There's a 1-inch punch for a reason. Right? Jeet Kune Do uses it as a rapier. And rapiers, yes, they can be massively effective. If you don't know what a rapier is, it is pretty much a fencing sword. Okay? Just really point it in and stab. And in fact, Bruce Lee learned fencing, so he incorporated that into his martial art. Second, mentality. Why are you fighting? You said, what? I'm fighting because I love it. Okay. I'm fighting because I view it as a sport. Questionable, but okay. That's how you combat sport. That's how you view boxing, MMA. Okay. I'm fighting because I need to defend myself. Self-defense. Okay, admirable. I'm fighting it because I want to work on my art. Each of those differences is how you need to approach of how you're going to use a jab. Now, what do I mean? If you're fighting for straight fighting, right? You fighting for the love of the purity. Focus on your damn technique. You always need to focus on your technique. Focus on your damn technique. Focus on perfecting that damn jab. Focus. No drawback, nothing. Focus on that and work on that. It's like the love of the game for basketball. You shoot 100 free throws. Most people ain't shoot no damn 100 free throws. But you want to be the best free throw shooter, you shoot 100 free throws. Right? You shoot 50 threes. Right? Now, if you're doing this for a combat sport, all right. Make it a useful tool. And that's all you need. Make it useful to how you're fighting. If you're using for self-defense, find out how you're going to jab effectively if somebody comes at you. You don't need to make it perfect because you're not fighting on the reg. This isn't what you do. And if you're looking to build a martial art for the forms and stuff, it's similar to the first one where you perfect a technique, but you're not focused on using all kinds of jabs. You're just expression of oneself. Focus is different. If you don't take that right focus and you try to go, oh, I want to perfect my techniques and woo, the jab looks pretty. And you get into the octagon, the cage, the ring with that, your ass gonna get bodied and you're gonna end up on the deck, knocked out, looking up at the lights like, what the hell done happened? If you come into a street fight and thinking, oh, I gotta have the prettiest technique, you're gonna be out of there because you're not even gonna get your jab off. Okay? Understand your mindset. Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting? Your fighting style. Why you fight. 3, what works for you? I may have a bigger frame than you. Understand that everybody you fight isn't going to be the same size as you. So you better make it a tool that can be used against anybody. And if you have to, you better know how to damn well make adjustments. So make it work for you. Don't be coming here, oh, I got one size screw. You're going to need more than one size screw. You're going to need probably more than one hammer if you're going to be professional at this shit, right? Number 4, understand your opponent. Don't think, oh, I'm just going to throw out my head jab. Your opponent comes in and tackles you. Now what? That jab's ineffective, ain't it? Use that jab. You see him crouching like a stiff arm. Just stick him. Stick him. Not in the forehead. That's how you break your wrist. Stick him. or before he's able to crack. Hit that body, gas him. Have him breathing hard, yeah. Now you about to put in that work on his ass. See what I'm saying? Or she about, she want to try something all kind of wild and flailing. Nah, bro, quick jab. Start that, whoa, yeah. Now you shut that person down. And the fifth reason for how to jab properly is to understand what the hell you're using the jab for. Understand. If you're in tight quarters, kind of going back to what I said, don't think to use a damn jab. Oh, you need to jab more. He's crowding you. Stop it. Look for clinch work. Look to if it's needed to throw them knees, if it's needed to throw them balls, it's needed to throw them them hooks out of side, uppercut, whatever the case may be. Understand certain positions, location. If he's too far away, don't just throw out a weak ass jab. Now, if you're trying to keep him honest, that's different. But if he's so far away, don't even worry about it. Get in range. Also, if you understand these principles, he throw a weak ass jab, you get on there and blah to the body, right? Or you get inside and close him. Oh, now he's scared. Understand why you're doing what you're doing in anything in life. But the jab, man, it's the ultimate tool. You can use it in so many ways, and it can be effective. But like with any tool, you have to understand the pros and the cons. You're not going to use a hammer when you need a saw. You're not going to use a chisel when you need an axe, right? You're not going to use a screw when you need a nail. It's very simple. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the matter. If there's any other techniques and whatnot you would like me to break down and talk about, we can do that, and why people use that, because I like to do the whys. A lot of times people just tell people just do something, the how, or show people how to do something. But why are you doing that? So many times people lose. They're not as effective. They don't get to their full potential because they don't understand why they're doing it. It's like Gohan and most of Dragon Ball. So I love the whole thing with Dragon Ball Super with his tutelage under both Son Goku and Piccolo. I wish he would train under Tien Shinhan and maybe under some Vegeta too. Different teachers train you differently, and they showcase different stuff. Different sense of, different. I've learned from my pops, my dad, talking with my brothers to a lesser degree. It was Mr. James, Sensei James. Okay, Tracy, a boxing trainer. Different trainers can give you. Now, there's some people who are better than others, but that's a whole other discussion. The whole point is understand why you do something. And when you understand the whys, it doesn't mean you will be the greatest at doing it, but it will put you, if you have two people who are similar, it will put you here instead of here. And it'll give you a better chance at success. It doesn't guarantee it, but it gives you a better shot. And when it comes down to competition, that's where the details matter. Not overwhelming might, but when it's close. And sometimes even when things can be overwhelmed, if you have those fundamentals, as rudimentary as you breathe, we call it second nature. When it's innate in you, your body will naturally react. You ever notice how, if let's say you were in a situation, someone's natural disposition will come out. You'll know if somebody can fight or not, right? If that person's a striker, oh, he's going to be a striker. Even if you try to teach him to grapple, his natural strikers come out. Natural grappling. Unless you override that, and that becomes your new nature. If you're sloppy, your sloppy tendencies are going to come out. You can train all you want to in a dojo and gym, but you go out there on that mat, on the street, in the ring, in the octagon, it's going to come out. And your bad habits that you formed over them years or you haven't corrected are going to come out. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.